fabulous executive living bordering Oak Mountain State Park. Colleen and David Black, Keller Williams Realty, 356-5412. Call on Colleen.
This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Monday, the 17th of August. James Spann here. What's left of Claudette passing through the state rather harmlessly so far today. Let's go to some of the Skycam shots around the network. We'll begin with the view coming from Mount Cheaha. A cloudy sky there, off and on rain today. Pretty much the same look coming from Gadsden. That's looking east. Over toward the Goodyear plant, you can see the Coosa River there in the left-hand part of the screen. And a big look at the Tombigbee River from Demopolis. Few raindrops on the lens with these off-and-on tropical rain showers today, pretty much falling down in a very beneficial type fashion. There's our big view, the water vapor satellite imagery across the deep south and across the whole continent for that fact. And you can see a big trough carving out of the northern states. And we think that will deepen and ultimately bring us drier air by the weekend. How about that? But between now and Friday, it looks kind of showery. Here's a look at the visible satellite imagery across the state this afternoon. And once again, kind of hard to pick out where the circulation center of Claudette happens to be. But much of the state covered in clouds, and we've got these rain showers passing through. There's a look at the southeastern composite. And really, widespread rain continues offshore, with the rain becoming more showery once you get inland. And a look at the local radar at 1:15 this afternoon. You can see these rain showers over much of the state. The heavier showers on the eastern side. And as always, with a system like that, the best rain will be along and east of the circulation center. But so far, no severe weather issues, no indications of rotation, and the odds of that happening look awfully small for the rest of today and tonight. Slight risk for the rest of this afternoon and tonight for the area roughly from Denver to St. Louis. And, of course, that will not be affecting us in any way. Look at the QPF chart. This is the expected rain over the next 5 days, and this is suggesting pretty decent rain amounts. 2.5 inches in West Alabama, lighter amounts off to the east. And, again, we're going to have the rain with Claudette today, and a moist air mass will linger. And really, each day through Friday, we'll have some risk of showers and storms, and trying to peg down the heaviest rain will be pretty hard to do. And, of course, tropics. That's a big topic. There's a look at the overview of the Atlantic Basin. Claudette is inland over southwest Alabama and weakening as a depression. Anna barely surviving around Puerto Rico. And Bill, a big hurricane out there in the Atlantic. Here's a look at the wide satellite view. All three of them showing up nicely there. Claudette on the left. Anna is in the center. And Bill, very well-organized hurricane, is on the right. And let's start with a look just quickly at the Claudette model tracks. Of course, this is the remnants of Claudette moving up from the Florida Panhandle into eastern Mississippi and then recurving back into the westerlies. And in its wake, we'll have a pretty tropical air mass, but that one's pretty much off the board. So let's look at Anna, if you will. The system is identified now just south of Puerto Rico, and that thing's going to move right over the Dominican Republic and Haiti, Hispaniola. And that is a very mountainous island, as we all know. And that will totally disrupt what's left of this thing. And if it survives, it looks like it'll track just north of Cuba and then coming across the Florida Straits into the extreme eastern Gulf. Intensity, this is an interesting forecast with Anna. The models are split into two camps. You got, the one camp that keeps it a weak system, barely a depression. Others, though, bring it up to Category 2 hurricane strength by the time it gets into the eastern Gulf in about 4 days. So we can't write this thing off yet. It's either just going to dissipate and go away completely or maybe come back as a storm that bears very close watching. And here's the official track from the National Hurricane Center. They've adjusted a little bit to the east on this run to the right. And they're keeping it as a depression all the way through, and it either nothing will happen or it's probably going to be a hurricane in the Gulf. But they've got this thing coming in awfully close to Tampa Bay and then moving up into north central Florida, a little east of Tallahassee by Saturday morning. And with that very strong trough over the east, you have to think this is the right solution, and you have to think Alabama would be totally on the dry side of this thing. So I don't think if it survives, it will have much of an impact on our state. What about Bill, you ask? There's a look at modeling. Big Bad Bill, Hurricane Bill. This thing could be a big one. It's going to be turning north. The intensity models, well, you got one that brings it up to a Category 5 hurricane. And by the way, the intensity scale, that's in knots over there, not miles per hour. And many of the other models bring it up to major hurricane status, and more than likely that's going to happen. This is the official track from the Hurricane Center. They got this thing pretty close to Bermuda Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. And again, with a strong trough over the east, it will be recurving and not touching the United States mainland, more than likely. And about the only landmass to worry about is that small island off in the Atlantic. Look at the GFS, the 12Z run. This is at 1 o'clock tomorrow. You see the trough evolving over the nation's midsection. Down below that, a very soupy air mass in the wake of Claudette. So looks like it'll be a day with at least scattered showers and storms, maybe numerous at times. Pretty much the same deal Wednesday and Thursday. Really, every day through Thursday we stay moist. Friday, look at the trough developing. Again, this is back in the upper levels at 500 millibars. Very sharp for this time of the year. Down below that, a surface boundary approaches Muscle Shoals. You'd expect to see an increase in showers and storms on Friday. Bill is the hurricane off in the right-hand part of the screen, well to the east of Florida and east of the Bahamas. And Saturday, starting off the weekend, dry air takes over. If that's right, it'll be a sunny day, not as humid, very comfortable, and Bill is moving north, and Sunday, Bill keeps on moving north. It's just going to have a hard time affecting the United States with that trough in place. We stay dry as a bone. Sunday morning should be pretty comfortable, maybe low 60s, with the highs in the upper 80s. And again, the humidity low in Monday of next week, very dry air. So for Alabama, looks kind of showery through Friday, and then a really nice weekend ahead, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We'll check the end of the forecast. This is the 2nd of September. Nice trough over the east. That's been the theme this summer, you know. And down below that, that looks fairly uneventful. No sign of any tropical mischief on this run. That's it for the Weather Extreme video this afternoon. We'll have notes on the blog. That's AlabamaWX.com if you're watching this via YouTube or iTunes. The next video here will be posted by 7 a.m. tomorrow. And if you're local to us, don't forget to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 at 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful evening, and God bless.